Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is finally here. Will it be making me scream, "Give 'em hell, Indiana Jones!" Or make me do this? Let's find out. Indiana Jones. Who doesn't love him? Really, I don't have much new to say that hasn't already been said about this man, but I adore the original 3 movies, he's one of my favorite characters in film, and he really means a lot to me as he does to a lot of others. I can't say I fully grew up on these movies though, I didn't see them at a very young age, neither of my parents were really into them, but I got a funny story of how I first saw Temple of Doom. So back when I was in K through I think 3rd grade, during the summer, my dad would drop me and my brothers off at this place it was, for lack of a better term, let's call it a daycare, but it was for kids my age and older, and on certain days they would take us on field trips and whatnot, but on the days they wouldn't take us on field trips, we'd stay back and watch a movie of some sort. One day, somebody brought in Temple of Doom, and yeah, we watched it, and really the only part I can remember from watching it the first time all those years ago was the dinner scene. Remember the monkey brains, the snake surprise, and the dung beetles, all that. And the funniest thing about it is that there was another day somebody brought in a Star Wars movie, don't remember which one, and they wouldn't let us watch that. But you let us watch Temple of Doom, a movie where a guy gets his heart ripped out. But going into this newest movie, I had to keep a few things in mind. I'm going in with low expectations despite being really excited, and I was not going to expect something like the original 3 films. And with all that in mind, this is a very mixed bag for me. I'll start off with the positives first. Harrison Ford was once again great as Indy. The main reason most people want to see this movie is to see him don the hat and whip one more time, and you'll definitely get your money's worth here with that. With the last film being such a train wreck for many reasons, there are a lot of things that they improve on here. There's obviously some CGI used in the movie, but it's not absolutely atrocious or as noticeable as in Crystal Skull, and that also means that this is a much better looking film. Another thing is that this really did feel like it went back to the roots of what an Indiana Jones movie is really like, and it does feel like a real Indiana Jones adventure. And I have a confession, I literally just watched Crystal Skull for the first time all the way through the other day, and yeah, it's terrible, and I think South Park still put it best.
Somebody do something! Why are they doing this? They're just taking Indiana Jones and they're raping him! I can't watch! Let's get out of here, Kyle! Why would Spielberg and Lucas do this? Come on, let's go! Why are they doing this? Just run!
John Williams came back to compose the score, and there's a great mixture of the classic Indiana Jones themes we all know and love, and some new pieces of music as well. I thought the opening action sequence was just great. It starts off with what we love seeing Indy do best, fighting Nazis. And the de-aging effect on both Harrison Ford and Mads Mikkelsen was actually really damn good and not that distracting, at least to me. But it was a little distracting to hear an older Harrison Ford voice come out of a younger Harrison Ford. Speaking of Mads Mikkelsen, he does a really good job here as this former Nazi that Indy came in contact with years ago, and the opening was my favorite part of the movie. Which is not a good thing to be saying, because then we have 2.5 hours of movie left. And really, it's just there. I said Harrison Ford was still great at playing this character, but the biggest problem is that he just does not feel like Indiana Jones anymore. He's tired, he wants to retire, he's not really interested in going on another globe-trotting adventure, and he's always grouchy. In a way, he's a less grouchy Otto, and never once does he feel like the same guy from any of the previous movies. But the man is in his 80s, so I guess this is the best you can do with an 80-year-old Indiana Jones. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in the movie playing Indy's goddaughter, and I just did not really care for this character. She's trying to be really smug with Indy, but it gets to the point where she can be a little unlikable. There's this new kid character in the movie, and he's completely pointless to the story. He's like Short Round, but forgettable. During some of the action scenes, some of the charm from the original trilogy is kind of gone when they're not doing any practical stunts like before. But at the same time, it is reasonable because Harrison Ford can't really do the stuff he did 40 years ago. But when you can't do that, it really does make this movie feel like every major blockbuster that's coming out nowadays. And we all know damn well Harrison Ford ain't doing a single one of those stunts. Usually when you watch an Indiana Jones adventure, you're very caught up in watching him trying to find the artifact that they're looking for. But here, I really started to get to the point of not really caring about them finding this dial. It's also too long, it's 2 hours and 34 minutes, which makes it the longest in the franchise, and it really could have been trimmed. As for the ending, you know the entire time where they're going to be going with it, but I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. It's not bad, but it's not great either.
Indy! Give him hell, Indiana Jones!
And during the climax, it does sadly have that problem at points where it is too dark to the point where you can barely see anything. One upside though is that this does have some of those nostalgia beats that a lot of years later sequels have, but it's not as much of a nostalgia sequel as some of the others. Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. This is one of the hardest movies I've had to review because I really don't know how to fully feel about it. I tried going in with low expectations, but still came out very disappointed. It is not a bad movie whatsoever, and it is a much better sequel than Crystal Skull in a lot of ways, but it doesn't feel like it has the magic of those original 3 films. My recommendation is to do exactly what I did. Low expectations, and don't expect something up there with the first 3 films. I was very glad to see Harrison Ford come back and play this character, but still came out underwhelmed. If the rest of the movie was like the opening sequence, then maybe it could have been a lot better. I'm gonna give Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny a C+, and that is the lowest grade I'll go with it. I'm glad I at least saw it once, but I think with a lot of other people, the franchise ended when Indy rode off into the sunset at the end of Last Crusade. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn the notification bell. I'll be back with more reviews very soon. See you then. Ow! Damn, I hit my fucking nose! Oh, that... Ugh. Ah. Shit.